Welcome to the Bird Gang Nation Sports Media Show, repping the greatest team of all time. Let's go! Bird Gang 31, he be the host with the most. We going deep, burning teams. They ain't nothing but toast. It's in your rest there. Sirianni put me in coach, running like Miles Sanders till I butt my head on the post. Touchdown! Yeah, that's coming. Devontae's crazy route running. Jalen hurting them, throwing lasers. The Rager young gunning. Come on! On the D side, we ride, sack him with Fletcher, lay him out on the stretcher. No one can protect you. Watch Darius lay him, shutting down your routes. Come on! In my green John, eating Philly cheesesteaks. Put up your cups, wings up, if you can relate. Tailgating at the link like Gangsta Stride. To the Bird Gang Nation, that's worldwide. On Sundays, catch the pre and post game. Mondays is Birds on Broad Street with Philly Notion and Cool Cat, the man in motion. And Wednesdays, the midweek special got you open with JC from Eagles Talk, hitting like B-Dog, baby.
Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. Today, Nation, we have a very special guest in the house. His name is Lou D from Gotham City Crew. How you doing today, my guy? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Turn up the mic. Let's see. Hello? Oh, yeah? You can't hear me? Mine is on.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you for some reason. I don't know if I should back out and come back in.
Try that out.
All right, hold on 1 second.
How you guys doing tonight? Thanks for joining us on this late night stream. You know we're going to talk some Eagles football, some Jets. See what's going down. You know, Jalen Hurts is playing this week, so that is awesome. Man, I am excited. Let's see what we can do here.
Oh.
You can hear me?
Yep, I hear you now.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. How you doing today, my guy?
Doing good, man. Just got home from work, doing some errands and trying to catch up on this game. Looks like the Cowboys are going to run away with this now.
Nice. Well, give everybody on this channel a chance to know about, you know, Gotham City Crew and how long you guys been apart. How long you been a part of that?
All right. Well, Gotham City Crew was started back in 2015, so it's going 6 years strong. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of it since 2017. I'm one of the organizers. There's three of us: it's Claudio, Nikki, and myself. You know, we're I like to give us the credit that, we're kind of like the new face of the Jets fan base. You know, we do a lot of events to try to unite the fans, whether it's home games or, away games, community events, and things like that. And, you know, as you know, as an Eagles fan, sometimes the best experience of going to a football game is meeting the other people that you're that are your fellow fans, and sharing your experiences and stories and stuff like that with tailgates and things like that. So that's where that's basically the backbone of what Gotham City Crew. You know, we the fans.
We the fans. And we the Eagle Nation over here, my guy. So I guess it works out. It works out. So tell me, my guy, what's your take on the Jets so far this year? What was your expectations for the team going into the season? What was your record prediction, maybe? And then how has that changed since this late in the season?
Well, obviously, for the Jets fans that do watch this, they know we've been crushed with injuries. And listen, and like a lot of teams in the NFL, it happens. But I don't know. I think the last 2 years we led the league in injuries, and with the new coaching staff and the pieces that are in place, I think the Jets did a great job with this draft. We're one of the youngest teams. With this 2020 draft class, I think we have 5 or 6 starters that actually started day one, and I think could be building blocks for the future. Now, obviously we lost our starting left tackle in Becton. Zach Wilson's missed time with knee injuries. Elijah Moore, started the season off slow, even though he's coming on strong as of late. I think he's going to be a stud. He's got all the looks. When he's on the field, you can tell he's going to be special. That the move that they made in the draft to move up to Vera Tucker, I think he's going to be a cornerstone of that offensive line with Becton if he can stay healthy for the next 10 years. And then we got some steals, and I think Michael Carter, the running back, another guy that suffered an ankle injury. He's supposed to be out at least 2 to 3 weeks, but he's been performing, surprisingly well. He can catch. He's a bit stocky, but he's got the breakout speed. And Eccles, DB, the other Michael Carter, he's in the secondary. He's doing his thing. So expectations, I just wanted to see the team improved than what they did last year. I think with Adam Gase there, I think we all, I could say this as Jets fans, we felt like we knew he wasn't going to be around much longer. So it felt like another wasted year. But dealing with the growing pains this season, watching these young guys play, and some of them play well, and they look like they're going to be starters for years to come. I think that's a win in my eyes, regardless of what the record's going to be. And let's not forget, Joe Douglas has been, since he's been our GM, he gutted this roster completely, got rid of a lot of bad contracts. Obviously, he traded away Jamal Adams, and we're going to have another first-round pick. And it looks like it's actually going to be better than ours so far, as of right now, as of today. Seattle has a better draft slot than us. I think they're sitting 4 and we're sitting 5. So,
hey, back-to-back top 10 would be awesome.
Yeah, back-to-back top 5 picks. So, not for nothing. Even though Jamal Adams was a great player for us, but he was a safety, and to kind of get 2 first-round picks, and the one that we used last year got us Vera Tucker, which I just mentioned he's going to be an all-pro guard in this league, one day. And now, if we can get another stud player, I think that was a huge win. And not to mention, salary cap wise, I think Joe Douglas is staying firm to his belief of building to the draft, and he's showing us that because he's not spending a crazy amount of money trying to win free agency like the previous GMs did. And what did that get us? Maybe 1 or 2 competitive seasons, and then you're back to rebuilding again. You really have to, to compete with some of these franchises that, like the Ravens, Steelers, they draft well. It seems like the Steelers always draft a stud receiver. They always find guys that can catch the ball, Same thing with the Ravens. They just plug in guys and they keep doing it. So yeah. I think and Joe Douglas came from that, that tree of building to the draft, and he's doing a great job. We have extra draft picks. I think altogether we have, with the Sam Darnold trade and a couple other trades, we have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. Don't quote me. We might have an extra third-round pick somewhere. So I think we have 6 picks in the first, 45 picks, which are huge.
Yeah, we know about that too over here in Philly. We know about Joe Douglas, you know what I'm saying?
That's
I see
right.
you keep picking up some former Eagle players over here in the Jets. I see that. You guys picked up what's his name? The safety, Riley.
Yep, Riley. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's listen, and not to harp about the injuries, but we've lost so many guys, especially on the defensive end. And it's funny, it's you know, if you follow the Jets in the beginning, the first quarter of the season, our defense was playing pretty good. They were keeping us in games, and our offense was trying to find their identity. And then somehow, obviously with the injuries going on, and when our offense finally got an identity, and I think a big part of that was our offensive coordinator, LaFleur, going upstairs to the booth. The play calling's been a lot better. The team's executed a lot better. And I think I read somewhere where at for a 5-6 week stretch, we led the league in total offense with yards and everything else combined. So that goes to show you the progress they're making, the progress in the young guys that are playing, like Elijah Moore. The last 4 weeks, he's been a stud. He's been killing it.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's definitely been putting up some numbers over there. I like that guy. He's looking pretty good.
He's on my fantasy team too, so I'm happy. I hang on to him. I knew he was going to eventually break out this year. I would have loved to see it in the beginning of the season when the defense was playing great. I think maybe we would have gotten a couple more wins, but nonetheless, I think this was more of a season where you gauge the new coaching staff, you gauge the rookie class. We had some our top free agents, Carl Lawson and those guys got hurt. So hopefully they can come back and play and be healthy next season, because those guys didn't get a chance to really see the field this year. He was killing it in the preseason before he tore his Achilles, ruptured his Achilles or tore his ACL. But we kind of quote that too. We took that up as typical Jets luck.
Right. And how many wins did you think they were going to get this year?
To be honest with you, I saw 6, 7. So we're almost halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
Depending how we do on Sunday against the Eagles. They
didn't look to help you out in that game.
They didn't look too good at MetLife last week, and they're back there again.
Back to back, away games in the same stadium. Isn't that funny? How do you like sharing the same stadium as the Giants?
I wasn't old enough to go to Shea and watch a Jets game there, so I've been a season ticket holder since 2006. Obviously, we were at Giant Stadium at the time before they built MetLife. So I'm kind of used to it. In reality, I don't think anyone likes to share a stadium. You can ask any Lakers, Clippers fan, any of those teams that have to share stadiums. I think every fan base wants a place that they can call their own.
Yeah,
I know Claudio always advocates for the Jets to move back to New York. But for selfish reasons, being that I live in Jersey, I don't mind the fact that they're here 20 minutes away from my house, especially when it's game day, when you have to, we wake up at, we're on the road at 6 a.m. to prepare our tailgate. And
knowing you're in New York, what made you become a Jets fan? We got a question for you there. You could have been a Giants fan. You could have been a lot of other teams around that area. Buffalo Bill fan, you know what I'm saying? Like, what made you choose the Jets?
It wasn't because they were winning. Like most people grow up and they, I've noticed in this last decade or so, last 2 decades, a lot of kids growing up now are Patriots fans, and that's because the Patriots are always winning. They're in the Super Bowl every other year. For me, I started following the Jets in '95, and I think we were 1-15 that year. Mm-hmm. I just remember, being a young kid watching the Jets and being like, wow, is this team ever going to win? And I was like, they got to win. And I kept rooting for them. Obviously they eventually got 1 win, but that's where, because nobody in my family really watched sports like that. And I had an older sister, so she wasn't into it.
Right.
So it was more because of them being what they are today. Unfortunately, the underdog, and who doesn't like an underdog story? That's why I'm a big Rocky fan. For you Philly fans, I'd love. Those are my favorite movies. Watching Rocky and Rudy. Yep. So I guess it was more because they were the underdog, and a couple years later they signed Parcells, and he kind of turned it around, and I was like, wow, this is great. You know, and I thought I was going to watch a Jets Super Bowl in '98, but the John Elway and the Broncos said no to that. And
That's
then
a
the following
Chad
year,
Pennington days.
what was
Pennington.
that?
Was that Chad's team? Chad Pennington.
No, that was Vinny Testaverde.
Vinny's. Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny story behind that was he wasn't the starter to start that season. He Glenn Fogley was, and after we started the season 0-2, Parcells puts Vinny Testaverde, the veteran, and you know he was a journeyman, a backup guy, but you know obviously he had the skills because he was drafted pretty high when he came to the league, and he just clicked. You know, we had obviously a great coach. We had a great offensive line with Kevin Mawai and those guys, Jumbo Elliott, and the running game with Curtis, my favorite Martin. He did his thing, and we had Keyshawn Johnson, Wade Corbett. We had those guys catch the ball, and everything clicked that year, and it just seemed like that magical year, like it was gonna go. And the funny story is, obviously, we were up. I think it was 10-0 against the Broncos in the first half, and you know everybody knows history. They came back and won that game, but if we were to play the Falcons that year, I think we would have took care of business because we played them in the regular season. And, you know, obviously the Falcons had a great season. You know, they're the Dirty Bird and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But we laid a beating on them in the regular season. So I was confident that if we can get past the Broncos, we were gonna win the Super Bowl that year. And then obviously John Elway retires. The Broncos go off in the sunset with 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. And all right, 99, we got the whole band back together. Let's do it. And then Vinny ruptures Achilles. He's out for the year after the week 1. And, you know, we had a couple backups. We had Ray Lucas in there. I think we finished the season 8-8. And that was all she wrote. And then little by little, some of these veteran guys left. Some retired. And, you know, things weren't the same. And then we all know the story with Bill Parcells retiring and Belichick being our head coach for one day.
For one day.
One day, and then he resigned. You know, he wanted full control of the roster, and I guess Bill Parcells being the GM, I guess wouldn't want to relinquish that. I guess that type of power, and he figured New England was the right choice, and it obviously all worked out for them. But he should have been our head coach.
Should have been ours. Should have been ours, man. The Jets never beat the Eagles out of the 11 games.
I know that. We saw that. It's time to.
Like, has it been going through town? You know about between Jets fans and content creators that we just have to beat the Eagles just to beat them. Like records aside, we gotta beat the Eagles. We just never beat the Eagles before. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got a team you never beat, it seems like every matchup should be that matchup where you like today has to be the day. Is that how the vibe is going over there?
I think if it was more of a competitive, if we were still, I think at this point, I just want to see Zach Wilson. I want to see the offense, continue what they're doing and make some more strides. Yes, I would love to beat the Eagles and kind of get one in the win column for that. But listen, if it turns out to be a shootout on Sunday and Zach Wilson plays well, Elijah Moore has another good game, and they happen to lose by, less than a touchdown, so be it. We'll chalk it up. We'll save the wins for when the Jets are ready to make some noise in the playoffs. But I think that the teams they normally play each other in the preseason, and when they do in the regular season, we had a couple of close games in the 11 matchups in the history between the two teams. The last time I saw them play live, obviously I told you I went to Lincoln Field and I forgot Mark Sanchez was the quarterback. I know he probably threw a couple. He probably threw a couple of interceptions.
Yeah, he was garbage over here. And I love Mark. I'm a USC fan. I loved him in college. He had some good years with the Jets, but when he came to Philly, I was all excited. Like, yeah, we got Sanchez, baby. He's about to turn his career around. He was hot trash. I did not like it. I did not like it. Watching the Cowboys game, my guy. Everybody got the little Cowboy game.
Yeah. I got that. That was, I don't know. I thought the Cowboys got the ball back, but it looks like they didn't. Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
watching I'm watching going back and forth with this game.
So
Hoping hoping the
the
Saints
Jets,
cover.
what would be the Jets' strengths on offense?
Their strengths
You
right
know, that
now,
no
I
fans
think.
might have to worry about coming into this game.
I don't know what the status with Corey Davis is, but believe it or not, I think our strengths right now is our receiving core. You know, with Elijah Moore coming to his groove, you got Jamison Crowder, which he's solid. He's been great for us the last 2 years. He's one of the most reliable slot receivers I think in this league. He goes obviously he goes underrated because of he played on Washington and then he played on the Jets. But he's got short hands. Corey Davis is another guy. You know, I think he had some rough spells throughout this season with a couple drops here and there. But you know, it's like everybody else. Everybody's getting the hang of playing with each other. You know, and he had to deal with playing with 3 different quarterbacks this season between Zach Wilson. Then you had actually 4 I think at this point. You had
Yeah.
Mike White that had the Hall of Fame game for the Jets. Then you had Johnson come in and mop up duty for White, and then you had Flacco. So that's tough for any receiver to kind of build that rapport with the quarterback when you have 4 quarterbacks playing one season so far. But Corey, you got Corey Davis, Crowder, Elijah Moore, even Denzel Mims, if he can get on the field, I think he's got the talent. So I think our strengths at this point is receiver. Our own line needs some improvement. I think they're making strides in the right step. Injuries obviously always play a part of that. Dallas is dealing with it as we speak, even though they just got a pick. I think our biggest weakness at this point is on offense is tight end. We haven't had a good tight end since I want to say Dustin Keller. To be honest with you, it's been a long time.
That's a while ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had some guys, show some potential, but nothing steady since Dustin Keller.
Yeah, man. How do you like your coach and your offensive coordinator? You think they're calling good games? I know it's his first year, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys heard or read about the Rex Ryan going after Coach Saleh and back and forth because when he came in, and this is the reason why I'm wearing the shirt. He had that mantra, no gas, no brakes. And, he kind of showed that fire that we haven't had in a head coach since Rex Ryan. So, a lot of people made that comparison early on when Saleh was hired. Listen, we had Todd Bowles. We had, Adam Gase. So, I think Jets fans missed having that fiery coach, that New York, New Jersey, swag about him. And I think Saleh showed that. But I think as a head coach, he's been more reserved. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good sign because you don't want your head coach to be, too emotional, too worried about the defense or too worried about the offense. You want him to be kind of like even keel and just and just manage everything and let the coordinators do their job so you can get a better overview of what's going on. I see some questions popping up. Did you want Zach Wilson as the quarterback? Or did you listen? I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping the Jets were gonna get the number 1 pick. Obviously, if they did, we would have had Trevor Lawrence. But after looking at Zach in the combine and doing a little research, I think he fits well in our system. I think there's going to be obviously some growing pains still to come with Zach. But I think the arm talent, he makes those throws that you can't teach. I think eventually once it all starts to click, they put that wall in front of him. I think he's gonna show people what he's about. He's got that Russell Wilson type body. He's got the arm. I think he can make all the throws, kind of like Mahomes. I'm not saying he's going to be those guys eventually in their career, but I think he could. He can definitely bring us to the playoffs, and I think he can be one of those quarterbacks that's going to be a starter in this league.
How many years How many years you think it's going to take for him to get it? Do you think it's just a matter of time whenever you guys can finally solidify that offensive line?
I think I've always, and I've seen it now, I've not having a solid offensive line. As Jets fans, one thing I can say, we've been a little spoiled for the last 10 years with a good offensive line. We went from Kevin Mawai to Nick Mangold and DeBrickashaw Ferguson. And those guys were studs, and they were starters for us for over a decade. Now we're kind of like trying to find our groove again. And I think GM Joe Douglas is making a concerted effort and trying to build that line back up. And the only way to truly do it is through the draft. And I think with Becton, Vera Tucker, and I think with one of those first-round picks this year, I think he goes for another one, whether it's the center that everybody's talking about or another guard on the right side there. I think that we'll see another offensive lineman pick. I know they're not sexy, and most people don't want to see a center or a guard go that high in the draft, which makes me think that Joe Douglas will take one of those picks, trade back, get another first-round pick next year, and then pick one of these offensive linemen, in that 10 to 15 range, where we can accumulate more draft assets, but still get the guy that he wants to get in the draft.
Would you be mad if they got 2 linemen in the first round?
I would not. If that's going to allow Wilson to have all day to throw in the pocket, I'm fine with it because I know he's got the arm, and he's obviously still working on his accuracy. But we see what he can do on the run. Just imagine if he had time to stay in the pocket and make those throws. So Lou needs to get on TV like Fireman Ed. We need it. It's funny because when I was growing up, Fireman Ed, I would go to. Obviously I didn't have a tailgate on my own, and the games another interception, and the tailgates I would go to, I would always try to seek out Fireman Ed because I thought it was just so cool, and as a first responder myself, I look forward to meeting him at the tailgates. So, more than anything else, not for the TV part, but for the kind of like what Fireman Ed meant to me. That's what I would like to mean to future Jets fans. Yeah, and just meet, encourage these young fans to stay with it. I know it's not popular to lose, and nobody wants to see their team lose. But like they say, our day will come.
I was 33 before I got to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl. And, I had to sit through 5 NFC championships.
Yeah, you went through some heartaches with McMahon.
A lot of heartache.
Andy Reid. Listen, we all know he's a great coach, but he couldn't get over the hump with the Eagles, unfortunately. But they had that one they had that magical run, and look with Nick Foles.
You got that right.
Yeah, we actually ran that play against the Bengals, the Philly special. Yeah, it worked. It was for a 2-point conversion. Obviously, we wind up winning that game. Mike White had he set history for the most passing yards in somebody's in his first NFL start. He also was the first quarterback in NFL history to come back from a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter to win the game in his first start. He also threw the first quarterback in NFL history to have 400 yards and 3 touchdowns in his first start. So he did a lot of, and then he wound up doing the Philly special to do I forgot.
You guys just copying us all over. First you take our colors. You take our OGM.
I don't know about that.
You got some players.
But we're going. I don't know if you know.
Now you're taking our all-time Super Bowl play and adding it to your own mix. Okay, Jets, we can call you little brother Jets. Then Yeah,
listen, we're like cousins. I've never been mad at the Eagles. Even when I went there, I had a good experience, and that's I know that's probably rare to say as a fan of the.
It's the Giants. Fans probably don't like the Eagles. Jets fans,
and that happens with any division rival. But South Jersey, there's a lot of Eagles fans down there. So, I see Eagles fans as our cousins. But the reason why I'm wearing this black shirt today, besides it, being a Gotham City Crew shirt,
represent
because the Jets are wearing their blacked out uniforms, and I think it's an awesome look that they have. They wore it for the Bengals game. And we all know what happened in the Bengals game. They won. So hopefully the black uniforms will bring us some luck. And we'll have another win on Sunday.
Well, I don't know about that part, but good luck with that. But yeah, man, I think that means we wearing all whites then.
That's a good point. Eagles and Jets, they both wear green and they both fly. So
Facts.
we're
Do you
related somehow.
do you hate the Giants, or are you biased with them since it's New York?
I don't hate them. Um, I at the same time I don't root for them either. It's kind of weird to say that. Just because when you live in New York, you have to deal with the local, radio stations and all that stuff. And if the Giants are doing good, they trash the Jets more. But if the Giants suck, they kind of give in the business, and it's less attention on the Jets. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's like when you're in school, you get in trouble. If you get in trouble with somebody else, now it's two people getting in trouble, and it kind of takes some of the heat off your back. Well, that's how it is in with the New York media, sports media. Both teams suck. At least they're not just trashing the Jets 24/7. They split it with the Giants too.
Nice, man. How many more years you think it's going to take for the Jets to get it together?
I always say 1 year, one more year. Come on, let's do it. Let's surprise the world. Let's shock them. But I think, like I mentioned before, I'm a big fan of Joe Douglas, and I think he's doing it the right way. He's not rushing the process. He's building to the draft. We still have that flex with our salary cap. He's not overspending in free agency, and any way to get draft capital, he's doing it. We saw with the Sam Darnold trade, and everybody was starting to give him heat the first couple of weeks because the Panthers were 3-0 and they looked great, and oh my God, you could have kept Sam Darnold. We got a king's ransom for that pick, and then Sam Darnold showed his true colors. And
as another former USC quarterback, just couldn't cut it.
It's weird, man. And I said the same thing when they drafted them. To be honest with you, I thought the Jets were going to get Baker, and obviously his draft stock went up. I think the day before the draft, and he wound up going number 1. But because I thought Darnold was going to go 1 to the Browns that year, and I thought we were going to get Baker. But listen, we see how that draft class is working out.
Right.
Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are going to be the two studs out of that quarterback class. And I go, pick 6.
Another one?
I can't believe how many turnovers in the last so many minutes.
Dallas has got a pick 6?
Yep. Oh, there's a flag on the play. I don't know. I'm trying to catch up and talk to you. I don't want to be rude. But yeah, so long story short, I always pray that it takes 1 year for them to turn it around, and I think it's because the whole Bill Parcells, and I kind of saw that how quick he turned things around, and they went from a 1-15 team to 8-8, and then the year that we went we started 0-2, we wound up finishing the season 12-2, and at the AFC Championship game. And then you saw it with Rex Ryan again when he came in. He had his after Mangini. I don't know if you remember, the Jets had Brett Favre for that 1 year. They started 8-3, and then they imploded. Brett Favre had a shoulder injury that he didn't, that wasn't really talked about, and you could tell he wasn't the same for that second half of the season. And the Jets wound up finishing, I think it was 9-7. They finished horribly, and they didn't make the playoffs. Unfortunately, Mangini was let go. Brett Favre went to Minnesota. He had a great year that following year. The Jets, obviously hired Rex Ryan. They invested. They moved up in the draft with the Browns. They drafted Mark Sanchez. But that team was built by Mangini. That was his players. We had a good mix of veterans. But Rex Ryan was the guy to kind of get that spark and got those guys going. I think if Brett Favre would have gave the Jets another year, instead of them having to draft up to get Mark Sanchez as their quarterback, I think they would have waited. They probably would have drafted another defensive piece, knowing Rex Ryan. And Brett Favre came out strong that following year. Our team was strong that year. Even with Mark Sanchez, we made it all the way to the AFC Championship. And I think we probably would have won that Super Bowl if we would have obviously had Brett Favre as our quarterback during those first 2 seasons under Rex Ryan.
Yeah, Brett did pretty good over there with the Jets. So with the defense this year, give me some good and bad with the defense.
Uh, that's another thing that's been plaguing the Jets, pass rush, and I think Carl Lawson was going to kind of help with that, and we didn't obviously have the opportunity to see that. Quentin Williams is playing well, but I think we need somebody on the edge to kind of set that going because he's obviously seeing double teams. I think it's pretty cool that he's playing with his brother. I think that was another good pickup by Joe Douglas. The Jaguars let him go. We scooped him up, and he's been playing well in the system so far. I like to see, Bryce Hall, our corner, has been playing decent. It's tough to really judge these kids in the secondaries because when you don't have a pass rush, they're left out there all day to defend the receivers. And like anything else, if you're good, whether you're Jalen Ramsey or whoever your corner is, if you give the quarterback too much time, eventually they're going to get open. So I think if we can kind of, like what I said about the offensive line, if we can shore up that defensive line, I think it's only going to make it's going to make our corners better. It's going to make our linebackers better. And I just saw the question about out of the rookies. I think the most so far. I want to say more, but I think the more consistent one at this point has been Vera Tucker. He started the season a little slow. That's because he was hurt in the preseason. But I think he's just been a stud. And the most surprising one I want to say is Michael Carter, running back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really impressed with him. I think after seeing Elijah Moore in the preseason, I had a feeling he was going to show up, and he's proven it now. Obviously, we're still waiting to see more from Zach Wilson. Hopefully, he can finish the season strong. But I think the surprising rookie was Michael Carter on offense,
mm-hmm.
and Vera Tucker has been the most reliable one at this point.
Salute. Yeah, man. That's actually pretty good for you guys to have, a young stud at quarterback that you hope develops and become one of the best in the league. I don't have any, ill will about, Wilson over there. I think he could be good as long as he gets the right talent around him, offensive line, whatnot. Michael Carter's a beast at running back. I do like the way he played. I was kind of hoping that we would have scooped him up late last year. And then Elijah Moore, man, that guy's another one. Dude, this receiving class this year is to really turn it out, and I had him on one of my fantasy teams. He didn't do it up early. This guy's busted. You're the fastest receiver on the Jets. My guy, go do your thing. But eventually, he started getting this thing down. And now in the last couple of weeks, he's definitely been doing a good job. I like the way they use him all over the field. You know what I'm saying? They move him around a lot. He gets, once he gets going, he's kind of hard to stop. And yes, Grant, USC guy, and I love Elijah Vera Tucker. I just didn't want to tell him. Yes, my guy. But yeah, man, those guys looking good over there. What do you think it's going to take for the Jets to beat the Eagles?
I think it's going to take. They got to get the running game going. They got to take the pressure off Zach Wilson. They did it with Mike White. When Mike White started for us, the game where he had what I just raved about, he took whatever the defense was giving him, granted a lot of those yards were dump offs to Michael Carter, and he made the plays. I think Zach Wilson's got to do a little more of that. Take whatever the defense is giving him, keep it simple, and listen, if the play's there, make the throw. Elijah Moore is talented enough to get open. Find him, and once he's open, he's going to make the play. So I think that's what they need to do. Let's see it, and the defense. Let's get 3 picks from Jalen Hurts again.
Whoa!
Maybe if the Giants
a one-time deal, my guy. That's not happening.
If anything the Giants can do, we can do better. So hopefully, right? Hopefully they, maybe it's the MetLife the curse of. For Jalen, and he has another a game that doesn't bowl well for you guys, and which helps us. Because if Zach Wilson can get some the defense can get some turnovers and put Zach Wilson in shorter fields, I think that'll help build his confidence and get that momentum going. And I think that's a big part of any young team is getting that confidence and momentum clicking together.
What do you think? Play devil's advocate. What do you think the Eagles have to do to beat the Jets? Is there anything specific we have to do, like any target areas?
I think if they're going to beat the Jets, it's because the Jets, just like what the Eagles experienced last week, the Jets are going to beat themselves. If I hate to say it, but I think Zach Wilson's good for at least one interception. If he can keep it to that and still make some competitive, make some good throws and not cost us the game, I think it'll be interesting. But I think the Jets are they're a young team. They're going to make their mistakes, and when they do make those mistakes, the Eagles capitalize. Then we could be talking about a 31-17 game, or something that we're seeing with the Cowboys and Saints now, 27-17, where it was kind of close. It was a one-score game until the fourth quarter, and because of a couple of silly turnovers, now you got a 2 or 3 touchdown lead.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but my thing is I just want to see the kids play well, the young guys play well, and keep it close. Because if they keep it close, MetLife, trust me, and you guys will see it when you watch it on TV. It will be rocking. That place gets loud. Especially our guys in our section. We're out there, hitting the chairs and stomping our feet. So if they give us a reason to cheer, it's going to be loud in there, and that we see how that affects the games.
What section do you got over there?
I'm in section 123.
That's pretty low.
Yep, I'm the corner end zone where the Jets come out. I'm like right above their tunnel.
Nice. That's nice, man. That's nice. Give me 2 players on offense that you worry about the most on the Eagles.
Oof. Who was there? I watched them I was at the training camp where the Eagles were there right before they played in the preseason.
Uh-huh.
What's the receiver's name? He was killing us in training camp.
Was it Watkins?
No.
Or Smith?
I don't know if it was Smith. Somebody was killing us, and I think he was doing it against Bryce Hall. So, and obviously Bryce Hall is our number 1 corner. So, if we see anything like that on Sunday, obviously it could be a high scoring game, like I mentioned. But I listen. Not for nothing, I do like Jalen Hurts. I think he's one of these quarterbacks too. If he gets some time, he can make the throws. He can run with his feet.
I don't think it was J.J. Grant.
It might have been. I don't think it was Smith. It was one of these guys that I didn't even know his name, but he was torching us in training camp.
Yeah, it was Rager. That's the one. Rager made the one-hand catch on you, huh?
Yeah, I think somebody just mentioned it now.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what like I said, if we can't get pressure on Jalen, I think it'll be a long day for our corners. And so if we can get some pressure on him, we can make it happen. If not, it'll be a long day for our defense. But listen, I wouldn't mind seeing the shootout either. Shootout games are always fun, especially when you have some fantasy implications involved. I have Elijah Moore starting in my flex.
Get the ball to Moore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Moore's going against one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and Big Play Slay, who's having a Pro Bowl type season.
If Moore gets the attention, then that'll give Crowder some space in the slot. Like I said, if Corey Davis is healthy enough to play and he plays, he's another big receiver that can move. So, listen, it's tough to cover 4 good receivers, and I think we have them right now.
Facts, all pro. My bad. Yeah, he is balling out this year. And then our secondary is not the weak part of our defense. That's actually one of our strongest parts. Nelson Island been playing pretty good over there. Vontae Mattis looked like
Nelson Island. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Is that
It's a
a
new
reference
thing.
to my boy Darrell?
It's a new thing. Nelson
Yeah.
Island. You know,
Yeah.
Darrell's not
That's
there.
the only island I know is
Yeah,
Rita's
Nelson
Island.
Island in there. But and then Maddox on his way to be a slot corner Pro Bowl the way he's playing this year, man. He's making all the plays out there. What about defense? Who else are you worried about on our defense?
Uh,
Worried about the pass rush. You know, we got Fletcher Cox, Ron Hargrave.
those guys are always studs. They come and play well. And listen, it'll be a good test for Vera Tucker and these guys up front. To because they look good. Like again, I haven't followed a lot of Eagle games, but when I did watch the Eagles, it was in training camp against the Jets before their preseason game, and they were getting pressure on the quarterback. So, and that's when a lot of people were kind of criticizing Joe Douglas, saying if he did enough on our offensive line. But sometimes, you face a better opposition. You can't always be better than the person that you're playing. But all you can do is hope that they could hold their own for a little while and just enough to make some plays.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys played the Giants this year, or do you guys play the Giants?
No, we don't.
Not this year. Is that like a 1 in every 3 year type thing?
Yeah, once every 4 years. I think the reason we play the Eagles is the Eagles were the fourth place team, right, last year? For you guys? Did you guys finish last in the division?
I think so.
Yeah, so we finished last. So, depending on, you have those random divisions that you play, the last place team plays each other. And I think it just fell into place that we played the Eagles this year because obviously both teams finished in last place. The benefit for us this year is we technically have 9. Well, we do have 9 home games. So with the addition of the extra week this year, for us it fell as an extra home game, regular season home game. So,
does it feel like a away game when you guys are playing there against the Giants, or is it pretty even in the state?
I went to that the preseason game. It's pretty even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty even. It's one of those fun games you go to because obviously I know a lot of Giants fans and vice versa. So we kind of do a collabo tailgate. We this is our one chance to kind of take over MetLife and not have a team from another town come in. It's New York. So that's the fun part of it because the tailgates in the stadium are crazy as it is, and then it'd
probably be a lot funner, huh? It's all like locals there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
New Yorkers there together, so you guys kind of know how to have fun the same type of way type deal.
Yeah, that you normally wouldn't get to see, because when the Jets are at home, the Giants are away, and vice versa. So that's the fun part of playing the Giants every year for the Snoopy Bowl.
There's a question for you.
Either Buda Baker or I don't know. That's tough. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. I'm gonna have to think about that one. But yeah, that's going back to the and again, not just because we host tailgates and all that other stuff. Anybody that's a season ticket holder or anybody that goes to a casual game, the biggest part of or the main part of our experience is being out there, hanging out with our fellow fans. So
how does that work if both teams have season ticket holders, in terms of the seating? Like, say you got row 120 for the Jets and there's someone row 120 for the Giants. Like,
every year it alternates. So in the preseason, like this year was considered a home game for the Giants. Mm-hmm. So actually, I had to get tickets for that game.
Oh, wow.
Next year it'll be a home game for us. So it alternates.
They just make whatever. One year you have to buy the tickets. The next year you don't have to buy.
The following year it'll be a part of my package, so I don't have to go out of my way to buy the extra ticket to that preseason game. So it's like everything else. We take turns of whoever's going to be the home team.
Do they give you like a deal for that? You know what I'm saying, like for that game, or?
Well, we have our ticket rep. I don't know if I mentioned this before. every season opener, every home opener for each season, we rent out the flight deck at MetLife Stadium, which is a private area that's in the lower level. It's got kind of like the courtside cushion foldable chairs. It's got cocktail tables. It's got room to move around and hang out. So we rent that whole private area, and we do what's called a game day experience. So besides the tailgate, you get the ticket in the flight deck. You also get field pass to get on the field, and we all go down either pregame or postgame. We take group pictures and all that other stuff. So, we take turns and we have tickets. So normally we'll go to our ticket rep and say, hey, listen, we're trying to go to the game, and each and this works for the regular season too. Each opposing team is allocated a certain amount of tickets for their fans, for their friends, family, and friends. So we usually go to our ticket rep. I'm fortunate enough, my girlfriend's father works for the Giants. So normally I'll just take her tickets if it's one of those Giants home games, so to speak, and I need a ticket.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, good looking out on that one. He's like, yeah, don't worry, I'm always gonna be there.
The only problem is now, we collide, and she talks her garbage, I talk mine, but nonetheless, it's an easy way to get tickets for the Jets Giants game.
What's your favorite Jets game of all time?
My favorite one was probably the Monday Night Miracle. I remember I was in high school at the time, and I remember I had to wake up early. I had first period class, which started at 7:15 or 7:20, which is stupid early, if you ask me. I'm not a morning person, but
right.
That to watch them come back and fight through that game, and that game wound up going into overtime, and they pulled it out. It was just a typical of how that core of those the Jets guys, they fought, they played hard. Guys like Wayne Corbett, he's one of my favorite all-time receivers, a walk-on from Hofstra that went undrafted, and listen, he had a great career for us, and he was like the Wes Walkers and all these other small slot guys before they were popular, that Tom Brady made them popular. He was that guy for us, and he was Mr. Reliable. He had solid hands, and this is before they had concussion protocols. He took a lot of big hits, and he's not a big guy. He's only 5'10". I think his playing weight was just under 200. 190. He hovered around the 2 range, so he wasn't a big guy, but he was always there, reliable, and he was kind of one of those guys that, like that Rudy story that everybody talks about, but
Rudy.
he was our guy, and he played hard. And that team, they had Curtis Martin, Wayne Corbett. You had guys like Lavernius Coles, Jericho Cotchery. These are guys that, they're not big names, so to speak, in the NFL world, but they mean a lot to the Jets fans. They were there. They were reliable.
Have you met any Jets players?
Yeah, we actually, not to toot our own horn, we actually had a couple weeks ago, we had Wayne Corbett and Lavernius Coles come to our tailgate. They hung out. They actually ate a burger. Lavernius had a steak sandwich. Wayne had a cheeseburger. They took pictures with some fans there. They weren't bougie about it. They signed my bust for me. I got a bunch of signatures on the ceiling of the bus. They're really good guys. We kind of made that friendship with Lavernius Coles when we played Jacksonville a couple of years ago. I don't know, for those that have never been to the stadium over there in Jacksonville, since they have a hard time selling out their tickets, they took sections of the 300 level and they turned them into pool suites. So you have a pool and you have cabanas. So of course, us being who we are, and we wanted to experience that and bring the fellow fans with us, we rented out a pool suite. I won't say how much it cost.
Right.
We rented that out. We each suite you're allowed up to 50 people. So we had 50 fellow fans with us. So Claudio found out that Lavernius Coles has like a nightclub / lounge in Jacksonville. So we told him that we wanted to kind of do like an outing to besides the people that travel with us, we wanted a place where we can say, hey, listen, fellow Jets fans, meet us here at this place. We'll come hang out before the game and so on and so forth. So the night before, we kind of did a Jets rally, and he was there with a couple other Jets alums, including Mark Brunell and I don't remember if Wayne was there. There was a couple other Jets alums, and we kind of made that connection. And so, sure enough, we invited him to our pool suite the next day, and guess who we showed up with?
Who?
Darrelle Revis himself.
What?
Yeah. So we had Darrelle Revis and Lambernius Coles hang out with us in Jacksonville in our pool suite. And then, 2 weeks ago at our tailgate, he came with Wayne Corbett.
Nice, man.
Which was pretty cool because we actually went to an event that a local like a bar and restaurant did, and with the New Jersey State Lottery, and they had Wayne Corbett there as a part of the event because the Jets were playing. It was a Thursday night game, and Wayne was there. So we told him that, hey, that's going on. We're talking to him, and obviously he remembers us, and especially Claudio and Nikki. So he was telling us about his family and kids, and that he was going to be at MetLife. And sure enough, we told him, hey, Lambernius Coles said he was going to stop by. He said, oh, Coles is going on. I'm going to be there. I'll meet up with him, and we'll head over to your tailgate. And like I said, these guys are stand-up guys. They're men of their word, and they showed up. They surprised us. We didn't want to tell anybody because we don't like to,
got some autographs.
Yeah, we don't want to name drop and people. They're just saying names to try to get people to come to their tailgate. So it was a nice surprise for those that were tailgating with us. They walk. Wayne Corbett and Lambernius Coles walks up to our tailgate and just hanging out like the average Joe, which was pretty neat.
That's probably even better for him, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing like where you got people lined up. It's like you're just chilling. You get there, oh, nice, like you said, nice surprise. You get to hang out with some former pros. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a good day.
For me, it was the reactions of some of the people there when they, they're hanging out and they look over and you see them do the double take, like,
is that Wayne?
Yeah, are they really here? Is that Wayne? And they're like, oh, and then I see them reaching in their pockets for their phones. And, for me, I met Coles a couple times already, and I had him autograph the jersey, and same thing with Wayne. And so it was more for me to kind of share that with them because, normally as an average Joe, you don't have, unless you have the opportunity or the money to go to some of these private events, you really don't get to see these guys. And I know they're big fan favorites in the Jets fan community. So it was kind of awesome for us to be able to kind of be that middleman, so to speak, and allow the fellow fans to see these guys because they're really, really cool guys.
Well, that's cool, man. That sounds good. How many jerseys do you got, and which one's your favorite?
Too many to announce, especially with the uniform change. I went a little crazy. Jamal Adams, Sam Darnold, and all these guys. I wanted to make sure I had one of each color.
Nice.
I even got the Sam Darnold one autograph frame downstairs in my basement. I got the 100th anniversary one with Jamal Adams. My favorite one is probably the autographed Curtis Martin one I have. That's the most favorite one that I own. The one I wear the most now is I do have a Zach Wilson jersey. But I ordered one of those Vapor, those $375 jerseys, the all black.
Yeah.
But I got it with my name on it, so I wouldn't have to worry about letting it sit in the closet like some of the other jerseys I have.
Right.
I have a Pennington jersey. Obviously, a Curtis Martin jersey never goes out of style because he's an all-time great.
Yeah, he's a goat.
Yeah. I have a Wayne Corbett jersey. That's another one that you could always throw on occasion. I have a Bird jersey. I have I think I have a Klecko jersey in there. But, the guys in my era, so to speak, would have to, obviously Curtis Martin, Wayne Corbett. Those are my favorite jerseys. And obviously the Curtis Martin one, I got him to sign it personally, which was pretty cool. Nice. But I either wear the customized one with my name on it or the Zach Wilson one. And they both happen to be in black.
Nice. Look at the schedule here. How many wins do you see the Jets getting from the rest of the season?
Well, we got the Philly one in the bag, so I'll get that one out of the way.
Yeah.
Listen, New Orleans, they're hurt. I just hope they're not fully healthy and by next week. Kamara, even though he's on my fantasy team, he's killing me the last 3 weeks not playing. And I picked up Ingram, and he didn't do anything today. We're talking about Miami's always a tough sell, but division games, you never know how they're going to go. All it takes is a couple momentum plays. You get a turnover here and there, and the last time we played them was close. I think Jacksonville obviously is a winnable game. I won't even talk about Tampa and Buffalo. Even when the Jets are good, playing in Buffalo is always tough for them. And
so you said you guys are going 4-2 down the stretch.
What do you mean?
4-2 the rest of the season.
Who said that? I would hope that. That would be nice to see.
That's what you said. You said
no. I said no. I was joking around with Philly.
Okay.
If they do win that, I could see New Orleans depending on if they get the crew back. Kamara and some of those guys. I know that they're banged up right now. And then New Orleans
got a quarterback, so you ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, and they're playing in the cold, so they play a little different when they're in the cold. So I could see possibly, New Orleans and Jacksonville. And like I said, I can go either way on the Miami game, but obviously Tampa to finish out the season with Tampa and Buffalo I don't see any wins coming out of that. But
would you rather them go ahead and lose out and get a higher draft pick?
No, that's Seattle's job. I'll let them lose out, and we have their pick. Like I said, I like to see my team win, especially at home. And listen, if they win out, if they do go 4-2, hypothetically they beat Philadelphia, New Orleans, Miami, and Jacksonville, and lose the last two. I would love to see that because that means one of two things: Zach Wilson played well, and our defense, even barring all the injuries that we have, played decent enough to win those games. So, if they somehow finish 4-2, that means a lot of good things happen, and the young kids continue to play better, which is a win-win in itself. And if that's something like that, if that scenario did happen to pan out, all that's telling me is that this draft class that we just had could be the biggest building block that we had in probably over 10, 15 years.
And what you guys record right now? 3 or 4 wins?
No, 3.
3. So that would be, if you guys went 4-4, that'd be a 7. And,
we'll be 7 and 10. 7 and 10.
No, that's a good start. I mean,
No,
especially in the season like that, that would be really
that's
good.
a great start. Thinking about if you had to just imagine if you had to play 4 quarterbacks throughout the season, and not to mention we lost our top pass rusher and a bunch of linebackers and corners, and we lost Mekhi Becton. He still hasn't come back. He had a dislocated kneecap. They were talking about he possibly was going to come back for that Bengals game. We're at November came and gone. Still no Mekhi. Obviously I don't want them to rush anybody back unless they're healthy, but I would love to see him finish the season strong too, along with Zach Wilson, and start building that chemistry. Because injuries are going to happen. So if we can kind of get this chemistry going now with Vera Tucker, Becton, Zach Wilson, obviously Moore still playing well, Corey Davis and those guys, it's only going to help what they're doing now for next season.
He said if you got the Gotham City crew gets to 1K subs, which jersey will you be giving away?
That's a good question. I would say,
maybe he was joking because you said he had all them jerseys.
I'll have Claudio give away his Elijah Moore jersey. I still got to hang.
He said, watch Jets, something crazy. They lose to New Orleans and Jacksonville, but beat Tampa Bay and Buffalo.
It's funny you say that because, we beat the Titans. We beat the Bengals when they just came off. They just beat the Ravens. They beat them up. I forgot which week it was. And then the following week, we had no quarterback, and we lost. We had no quarterback, and we had no Corey Davis, and we somehow beat the Bengals. So I wouldn't put it past them. It's one of those weird things, and that's what happens when you have a young team. You just never know what you're going to get. And let's not forget we have a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator with a bunch of rookie starters.
Oh, we know about that.
Yeah. So everybody,
offense are rookies.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are learning the job, so to speak, while they're learning on the job training, so to speak, so they say. So it's the growing pains, and I think it's going to be. I just want them to finish strong. I think that momentum will help these young guys carry over.
And this question says, are there any 2 draft prospects coming into the draft that are must-haves for the Jets?
I'm not good with names. I know that the center that everybody's talking about, and I think Joe Douglas needs to get one more short piece on that offensive line. Listen, and you can keep George Fant. You can keep Moses on the right side. Those guys are doing a good job. But I think if we can show up, get that anchor on the center position and let him grow with Zach Wilson, I think it's going to help their development along with the progress of the offense. And then maybe get that stud corner that everybody's talking about. If we can get the number, if we can get the number ones in those 2 positions, I think that's going to help the Jets tremendously. And with the progress that we're making, and all these guys that didn't get to play this year that were injured, they're basically going to be new additions for this season.
The Tyler Linderbaum.
Yes, the center. Yep, that's him from Iowa.
So you want Linderbaum and Stingley.
Yeah.
Stingley.
Yeah, to sum it up, and it doesn't have to be in that order, however it pans out. Ideally, I would love to see them trade back, get another first-round pick, and still get the guys that they want. But I think those 2 positions are a position of need. I think another piece on that offensive line, and then a shutdown corner. You see how important it is. You guys are living through it now, and you get that one shutdown corner. It kind of helps when you don't get to the quarterback, and you can take out that number 1 receiver as the threat for that quarterback. So we saw it many years with Darrelle Revis, man. You know, and it goes to show you that I saw something not too long ago and reminded me, you get spoiled when you're watching it. And I can say this as a Bulls fan, obviously you got spoiled with Jordan and with the Last Dance coming out last year, you kind of got reminded, like, damn, man, this guy was really good. Even though I don't think LeBron and any of these guys even come close to Jordan. And yes, people make that argument.
Category.
Yeah, I think
LeBron, Kobe, all them guys, none of them were.
I think Jordan was in his league of his own, but when you go back and you kind of recap what Darrelle did, especially that season, that 2010 season with Megatron, with Ocho Cinco, with some of these guys, Brandon Marshall that he played twice, he shut down all those guys.
He was one of the best ever.
Like,
for sure.
like these guys, like they got 1 or 2 catches when those guys were steady, 100-yard receivers in most games, and Darrelle just shut them down, which was huge. Just imagine playing the Lions, you shut down Megatron.
Yeah, Bulls fan, lose a Bulls fan. Say it ain't so, Joe. Knicks.
No love for the Knicks. I actually hate the Knicks. I hate the Knicks, and it's obviously I'm a Jersey guy. I hate the Knicks, but I was watching the Bulls game right before I jumped on here, and they squeaked out a win. They were up big, and then the Knicks made a good comeback. But I am rooting for obviously Derrick Rose, Coach Thibodeau, Taj Gibson. Those guys were all Bulls before they were Knicks. So they got a spot in my heart, and the Bulls were, they made their little run with Derrick Rose when he was the MVP, and before he suffered all his injuries. But I'm happy to still see him doing his thing, and he's actually he plays an important role for that team. So I wish those guys well. When the Bulls are not playing, I do root for the Nets because their Jersey ties here. They made their runs when they had Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin, and those guys. Kerry Kittles and Keith Van Horn. I wish they, one of those finals appearances would have translated to a trophy for New Jersey before they left. But they went against good teams. They went against the Spurs, the Lakers. So it obviously didn't work out for them. Same reason why the Knicks don't have a championship in the 90s. The Knicks had a great team. Pat Ewing, Derek Harper, John Starks, Anthony
I'm a
Mason.
Pacer fan, and the Knicks and Pacers always clash, my guy.
Same thing with the Bulls.
You
And they said he said it in
Ewan and
the
Jordan, I love Jordan. He's the best, but Ewan and Jordan are my most two hated basketball. Yeah. I'm a huge Reggie Miller fan. That's where the 31 comes from. Like since I was little, it's like man, those guys we play have great seasons, good teams, but we never could get either the Knicks to get us or when we beat the Knicks, it'd be Jordan and them boys with the Bulls, man.
Listen, they almost the Pacers almost ended the Bulls dynasty a year early.
Yeah,
98.
we took him to Game 7.
Yeah,
I watched that. Reggie pushed off Jordan, shot in his face. Jordan like, "Where's the foul?" I'm like, "Yeah, Jordan, get off of Reggie." And then the next game, Michael Jordan led us a new.
Well, so you mentioned that game. Scottie Pippen choked. If he would have made those free throws, that game wouldn't, obviously be in contention, or in consideration. Right. But listen, the Pacers almost pulled it out. I feel bad for Reggie though. The year that they had that mess in Detroit and all those guys got suspended. I think that was their year. They had a good team with Jermaine O'Neal, Ron Artest.
Yeah.
Reggie Miller was
Rick Smith,
but he was still productive. They had a good team, man. And
both Davis, Dale Davis.
Yeah.
And then
Tony
Davis.
They had a good team, and I think it was there. Larry Bird is their coach. I think it was
that really destroyed our team. Was that fight?
Yeah, and then Mr. Louis, at this time in the NFL season, what's your record? Do you look more for the? I do and I don't. I know it's weird to say because as a season ticket holder, as a fan that goes to every game, we did a few away games this year. Anytime your butt's in the stadium or I'm in front of the TV, I'm rooting for my team to win. We'll think about the draft after the game and see where we land, but I always like to see the team win. And for me, and I can't say it enough, it's rooting for these young guys. We're one of the youngest teams in the league, so I want to see these guys. I want to see these guys do well. I don't want to see them lose. If we were like an old veteran team, like you can say what's going on with the Seahawks now and the Saints. I think they're the Seahawks, the Saints, their window's closing. Obviously, injuries with Russell Wilson and the injuries that the Saints are dealing with Kamara. Those are kind of like older teams, and if I was a fan of their team, and obviously they had success at this point, obviously the Seahawks fans can't say this because we have their first round pick, but if they still had their pick. As a Seahawks fan, at this point, being 3-8, I would hope that they finish the rest of the season winless just so they can get a better pick. But if we were an older team in the beginning about the rebuild process, then I can say yes. But we're a young team. I want to see these young guys win. So we'll worry about the draft in April.
High scoring game, low scoring game, and a score prediction.
Well, how's your defense is good, so. Depends what kind of Zach Wilson we get on Sunday. Nonetheless, I think it'll probably be. I'm hoping the Jets get to at least 24. So I'm hoping. I said hope. So I hope the Jets get to 24, but I can see one of those 17-10 games. So I think the under is going to come in on this game. I think Pete Carroll. I think his time is up over there.
Yeah.
Even Sean Payton, where do you go from there? I know they lost their starting quarterback, and then they're plugging and play. But it's like anything else. You saw with Andy Reid. You've seen it for a long time, and I think a change of scenery, a little break and then a change of scenery. Eagles fans are going to be depressed when the Jets stomp them 21-6. Whoa, Jack Hawk.
I got fans from all over. They like to come in here and talk.
It makes
I love them. Everybody got a right to their own opinion. But what is your score prediction?
I want to say it's going to be. I'm going to stick to 24 in honor of Darrelle Revis. I say 24-17 Jets.
I'm going back to my old favorite, and I'm going to say 31-10 Eagles.
Whoa!
I don't think
blowout win.
Then we need to. It's a bounce back game. We still got a chance to win a wild card spot, so we
That's
need.
True. You guys got
a lot to fight for still. And if we lose to the Jets, someone need to pay pink slip. That's all I bet about that. Someone need to get fired. And then I'm talking about forget the rest of the season because we couldn't beat the Giants and we come get beat up by the Jets, man. There's some issues going on, and one of these coaches got to go. I don't care if it's the head coach, the coordinator, offense or defense, man. Somebody got to go. Even if you got to fire the special team coach, somebody need to get that pink slip just to let the people know we ain't playing around here.
Yeah.
No real shape, but like I said, you guys got a lot of injuries going on over there. You got a lot of young players. We got young players too and young coaches, but you guys got young coaches as well. But it's just like one of them things where right now we're the better team. And just the fact that everything's in front of you right now. You win this game, it gets you that much closer. You go to bye, you come back out after the bye, you can, got nothing but division games left, Washington twice, Giants again, which I think we should have won the last one. We kind of beat ourselves. I know we should beat them again, but I've been doing that no thing all year long with the Eagles, and some of those games have not turned out the way I wanted them to turn out. So it's still possible, and as long as we're still in the hunt, I think, I got to be strong for my birds and think we can win out. I think it's possible we can go 10-7, hopefully, or maybe if we lose one more game, 9 and what's that?
What's your schedule look like after the Jets?
So after the Jets, we got to bye. We get a bye in week 14. So after that, we come back against the Washington football team, the Giants, the Washington football team, and then the Cowboys.
Oh, so you got a lot of division games
all division games, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, I think the NFC, obviously, the Cowboys pulled it out today. I think it's still up for grabs.
Hurts is playing. He said that today. He said, my boys at BG31 is cray on that score. No, I'm saying we should have blew out the freaking Giants last week, and we're going to do it this week. We need to make a statement that we are here for the playoffs.
No, I listen, I think
coming for it.
Obviously, one of my teams, I have Hurts as my starting quarterback, and I was so disappointed. He gave me 6.5 points. When I saw that, I didn't watch the game, but I saw the stats. I was just like, what the heck?
We lost it at the Giants game, Grant. What are you talking about? We lost it. That was definitely a disappointing day for sure. And the Jets would be definitely worse. You might see some Eagles fans, breaking their TVs, if we lose that game.
No, I hear it, I get it because, like you said, you still got something to play for, and it would be nice to see, the young team make the playoffs because that's only going to make them better. Please have Zach Wilson commit 3 turnovers. Please don't. that's that if he has 3 interceptions, then I can see a 31-10 game. But if he can limit those turnovers, I think it'll be a close game, and we could see something like 21-17 or 24-17, something along those lines.
Yeah, it's possible. Like it's still like even all week long, I didn't want to give out a score. I was like, you know what? I'm at a point where I want the Eagles to win, and I don't even care to score. If you win by 2, you win by 1, you win by a half a point. They made up a half a point. Just win the game. That's all I care about right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at all the stats and all that stuff now. I don't care if Jalen throws 15 picks in the game, as long as at the end of that game it's a W. That's all that matters to me, man. I want to see my team make the playoffs. I think that'd be good first year for first year coaching the young offense. To get to the playoffs the first year in. That gives the city more faith with Jalen. Maybe keeping him as being the guy because I am a huge Hurts fan. And we'll see where we go from there. But yes, it is that time for the all-time Jets team, my guy. Now this is your team. Since you've been a Jets fan, your favorite players, my guy. And let's get to it. Give me your all-time favorite quarterback and who will be backing them up.
I have to go with obviously Joe Namath. If I don't say it, I get killed by Jets fans. We gotta have him. He's the face of the Jets Super Bowl win, our one and only win. But as a backup, I would have to go with Chad Pennington. A lot of people sleep on him. I think Chad Pennington.
He had good years.
No, he definitely had good years, and he was one of the most accurate quarterbacks that the Jets had. Obviously Ken O'Brien, but I think Chad Pennington, if barring those shoulder injuries, if he didn't get hurt, I think he would have, his career would have lasted a lot longer than it did. And look at, he had that bounce back year with the Dolphins, the year that we had Brett Favre. But I would have definitely had Chad Pennington back him up. And I don't know if you guys ever hear Pennington talk or commentate, because he'll come in and talk. And now, Broadway Joe, his stats are misleading. If you look back then, back in the day, they didn't throw the ball like the way they did. So if you look at, I saw one of the questions.
What?
Yeah, about the Joe Namath stats. They won't impress you. I think what I mean by Joe Namath, it's what he meant for the Jets, and he was the leader of that team, and he's still around the franchise. But Chad Pennington would be my go-to guy as the backup. He can make he was super accurate, smart player. Like I mentioned before, if you hear him talk, the commentary, he knows a lot about football. He would be my guy. Obviously Brett Favre, but I really don't consider him a Jet because he played one game. One season.
Yeah.
If we go that route, obviously you got to throw Brett Favre in the mix. He's an all-time great. But I'm talking about guys that they played the ball with the Jets.
Yeah, he picked who he picked. Let him roll with it. Give me 3 running backs. 3 running backs and a fullback if you got one.
Well, Tony Richardson would be my fullback.
Richardson was a beast.
Yeah, he was part of the reason why our running game in those the 2009 and 2010 season were just phenomenal. Curtis Martin, yeah, without a doubt, Curtis Martin would be number 1 on my list. You obviously he brought up Freeman McNeil is another guy. Bilal Powell is another underrated guy. It's just so many, but obviously Curtis Martin's number 1. Thomas Jones had a nice run with the Jets for a few years. Don't forget we also had LT. Even though he was just a little prime, he still had a couple great seasons with the Jets. Yeah. Adrian Morrell, yeah, I remember Adrian Morrell, but he would make my cut. Some of those guys would obviously be before him. And then hopefully one day Michael Carter. Richie Anderson. Richie Anderson was another guy, another great fullback that the Jets had. Another one. Great. I'm happy that he brought that up.
And what about Mark? Give me 2 tight ends.
Tight ends, they're hard to pick. Anthony Beck was obviously he was decent for us for a while. Dustin Keller. I'm trying to think who else was in.
Winslow.
What?
Winslow.
Nah, he was and I won't even bring up the aftermath with him too. Another strange bird. Fred Baxter. It's funny that you mentioned that because we had another guy that came to a Gotham City Crew tailgate, Fred Baxter, and he wound up winning his ring with the Patriots, which I hate to say, it's the same way Darrelle Revis won his, but
right.
Another good guy. Yep. It's tough to pick. We haven't had too many good ones. But, obviously Dustin Keller did his thing for a while with the Jets. He was one of those big guys that move fast, great hands.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Beck was another good guy, first-round pick for us. What's his name? And we had Cal Brady for a little while, too.
Yeah. So which 2 are you going to go with?
I don't know. They're so close. For me, I'm going to go – I guess I'll go with Anthony Beck and Dustin Keller because I don't know. I guess I had more of a connection with them in terms of, my fandom. It's not because of stats or, anything else.
It's your fandom. This is what the team's all about. Yeah. So give me 4 receivers.
Oof. Only 4?
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't say enough about Wayne. Don't forget, the Jets did draft Santana Moss.
Oh, yeah. Santana Moss was pretty good.
He was really good for us for a while. Lavernius Coles, Cotchery. And listen, I know Keyshawn Johnson was a part of that run that we had, that little dynasty run we had with Vinny, Wayne, Curtis Martin. Kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. And
you hate no Keyshawn.
I'm gonna leave Keyshawn. I'm gonna leave Keyshawn out of it. Wesley Walker, Altoon. Those guys are obviously Ring of Honor guys. Altoon, another guy that was a big part of what was going on back then. I'm gonna leave Keyshawn out of it because you know why? He picked on my buddy Wayne Corbett, especially after he left to play for Tampa. So I would go with Santana Moss. I would go with Wayne Corbett, Santana Moss, Lavernius Coles, and Cotchery.
Nice.
But honorable mention would be Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
I think he still holds that record for the most yards and TDs.
Nice. Yeah, Brandon.
Listen, Keyshawn was a great receiver. I just, for personal reasons, he bashes. He gets any chance he gets. He bashes the Jets on ESPN radio, and I never forgot when he went at it after he got traded, trying to bash Wayne Corbett when Wayne Corbett was just a stand-up dude.
Yeah. Well, give me a starting offensive line.
Oh man, it would have to be. I'm torn between Kevin Mawai and obviously Nick Mangold.
You can move one of them to guard if you don't got one.
Well, I was gonna. Al Faneca could have been the guard. We got Jumbo Elliott.
Ooh.
Obviously DeBrickashaw Ferguson. All those guys. Jason Fabini. They were all. I would definitely keep Kevin Mawai. I think Kevin Mawai did play a little bit of guard, so maybe I'll keep Nick Mangold as center and then throw Kevin Mawai either left or right guard. And then our tackles would be, DeBrickashaw, Jumbo Elliott, those guys, Jason Fabini. It's just, I don't know. We that's one thing I could say the Jets were spoiled. We had, at least in the time I was a fan, we had a decent offensive line. We went through that dry spell the last couple of years under Bowles and the end of Bowles and the 2 years we had with Gase. So hopefully with Coach Sala and these picks that they're making, they're going to be the backbone of this team.
They said you got Mango center, Mawai guard. Who's the other guard?
It would have to be either. I don't know. Al Faneca, he was great for us when he was great. Obviously, he just went to the Hall of Fame. Obviously, he was more known with the Steelers. Played longer there than the Jets, but he went on a little run with us when we did our thing with Rex Ryan. So he's a great player too. I think I don't know if he played a little bit of center, but he was he covered guard, center, and then in your tackles, you could have Fabini and DeBrickashaw.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day we could say Becton and Vera Tucker.
And then give me your defensive line. The 4 DNs, 2 tackles and 2 ends.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with John Abraham because he was the last time we had a pass rush, and the the Jets had a serious pass rush. He was a great guy. Tackles. Whew. Let's see. Obviously, am I drawing a blank? He got drafted with Jason Ferguson was good. I don't know about Dwayne Robinson. You got the sack exchange, of course. For me, I'm talking about more relating to my time. Sean Ellis, John Abraham.
The big cat, right? That went to.
No, Leonard Williams. No.
Yeah.
He's an afterbird. But I would go with Joe Klecko. I would go with Gastineau, Sean Ellis, and John Abraham.
Nice. 3 linebackers.
What's his name? Brian Cox. He was a monster.
Brian Cox was a beast.
Who we were just having this discussion the other day. Demario Davis was so underrated, and the Jets had him twice, and they let him go. He was just a beast. Obviously, Mo Lewis was another staple. The hitman, David Harris. Calvin Pace, he had his run too. But Demario Davis for me, Brian Cox, and then I would probably go with either Mo Lewis or David Harris.
Okay. 3 cornerbacks.
Ooh, obviously Darrell Revis. Camardi did his thing, but Aaron Glenn was up there. Ray Mickens wasn't a bad corner for us too.
Which one?
Ray Mickens.
Minkins.
That he played with Aaron Glenn. We had obviously Camardi. We had Revis. Some honorable mentions there. Yeah, I guess the starting would have to be, and Aaron Glenn's a coach now. He's the defensive coordinator for the Lions. So I guess it would be him and Darrell Revis. And Aaron Glenn wasn't a big guy, but he was a tough guy.
So him, Darrell Revis, and who's going to be that slot?
You know who was good? Well, he played slot, but he plays safety too. Was what's his name? Leonard.
What's his name? I forgot the boy's name too. 3 safeties.
Three safeties. That's going to be a tough one. Obviously, Leonard, when he played, hated when Miami let Brian Cox go. Yeah, I loved it. He played great for us. He was just a mean guy. Obviously, Victor Green, he was another guy. Kerry Rhodes, it's funny you mentioned Kerry Rhodes. He was underrated, and I know I think he finished off his career with Arizona, but he was really good for us at the time. So I would have to go Victor Green, Leonard. What's his first name? Was it Joe Leonard?
But you can't have Leonard as your third corner and your safety.
Well, he played both. He was hybrid. He played that slot corner, depending on what they did there, because Rex Ryan mixed it up pretty well.
Is that Jim Leonard safety?
Jim Leonard, yes, that's what I meant. Jim Leonard. But they did throw him in.
You put him at safety and let Camardi move into that third cornerback.
I don't know if Kamari could do the slot. You think Kamari could do it?
But he don't really have to play. Just your favorite 3 corners.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. But Jim Leonard he played great for the Jets. But I would definitely go with Victor Green, and then you could who was that? I can't think of his name. He went to the Colts after the Jets. He was all jacked up. He was on the Jets during I believe right after.
Was it Laundry?
Yeah, what a monster!
Ron Laundry.
Yeah, but he didn't play long, so I would go with Kerry Rhodes.
Okay. Who will be your kicker, your punter, and your special teams ace?
Special team. We had a couple. We had Joe McKnight. We had Brad Smith. Those 2 guys. I guess I would have to go with Brad Smith. He was also our Wildcat quarterback. He had a lot of good returns. You know what? Scratch that. I'm going with Leon Washington. He would be our special teams ace. Kicker, I'm going to have to go with Nick Folk. John Hall, too. John Hall had a lot of good games. Justin Miller, yeah, I forgot about him. But he was Leon Washington would be my guy. Leon Washington on the kickoffs. And Brad Smith to close second. And I would go with Nick Folk as my kicker. And punter. We had Tom Tua. We had, what's his name? The one that wound up winning a ring with the Giants. He's all jacked up now. He's jacked. What's his name? He played Illinois.
I can't help you there, buddy.
I can't think of his name. Like I said, I'm not great with names. Fireman guy. Yeah, Bruce Harper. That's true. That is true. We'll have to go with Bruce.
Dave Megan. They got a beast.
Yeah.
Who gonna be your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator?
Defensive coordinator would have to be Belichick.
Offensive coordinator?
Offensive coordinator, I guess it would have to be. We had who do we have? We had Schottenheimer for a little while. It was. There's nobody that really. We had Brian Schottenheimer that was good for a while, but I guess I'm gonna have to go with Which was Schottenheimer.
And then your head coach?
Sexy Rexy. No doubt.
Going Rex Ryan.
Yeah. Just more of, if Schottenheimer and Belichick is his coordinator, I think Sexy Rexy is the cherry on top. Even though Bill Parcells he meant so much for the Jets, and he kind of helped bring that franchise back to life. But Sexy Rexy, he was just that guy that you loved.
He was a good coach. I did like Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
But
he'll tell you how it is.
He didn't do too good after that. But he definitely did good when he was with the Jets.
Yeah, listen, I wouldn't let him pick do the shopping in terms of players, because obviously he's going to go and when he was our head coach, who I think we drafted in the first round, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years in a row. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't let him pick the personnel, so to speak. I would leave that to the GM. But overall, what he meant,
motivational speaker. But those two coordinators, that's all you really need them to do.
Correct. That's the point of it. That's the moral of the story. I think Rex Ryan's one of those guys that players can relate to, and they play hard for him. Not to say they didn't with Bill Parcells, but Bill Parcells is one of those disciplinary guys, and I think that kind of wears thin on players too. You get to that point. You got to be willing to be coached, and some of these old school coaches don't play that game.
Nice, man. Hey, that's an awesome team, man. There's some nice players over there. I think they'll win some games if you had all them people together there. Go ahead and give me your final thoughts and let everybody know where they can find you at on all your social media platforms.
Well, the final thought is, listen, as a Jets fan, we can always, wish for the best. Obviously we do have some memories. I got to witness 3 AFC championships, and hopefully we'll get a 4th one soon enough. Gotham City Crew, we're Claudio. I have to give credit where credit is due. He's big on the social media. He's always out there making these goofy videos, and he's just trying to make people laugh and connect all the fans together, especially on game day. If it's an away game, he's putting it out there where fellow fans are tailgating. Home games, obviously, we get them to come to us in Lot J3. But we're big on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Gotham City Crew. We also have the website, GothamCityCrew.com, if you want to, obviously get some sweet swag, some apparel, especially for the holiday season. If you're a fellow Jets fan, especially with jerseys, we've all been through the struggle of, we get tons of jerseys and they sit in the closet after the player gets traded away, or it doesn't work out and they turn out to be bust. But you get some cool. We have hoodies, we have T-shirts, we have knit caps. We have a partnership with New Era, so they do all our caps, our knit caps, and all that other stuff. We got some cool like satin baseball style jackets. We have a little bit of everything. We pride ourselves on quality material. So if we're not, I know our shorts, our polos are all made by Nike. We use high-end materials for our tees, our hoodies. So we, obviously we're not just in it for the money. We want to make sure the product that we're giving you is up to our standards. So we take pride in that. And we want something that the fellow fan could be proud of. That's what it comes down to. So if the Eagles win, can a shirt be sent to? Sure, we'll see. Listen, and that's another thing that Claudio does. Even if you're, you may not be a fan of the Jets, you want to give us a follow. He does a lot of sweet giveaways. He's giving out. We had when we sat down with Winker Bet, he's autographed a bunch of cards, and we just gave them out to fellow fans. We did, little creative raffles and stuff like that. And our main thing is paying attention enough to have the opportunity to meet some of these players and go to some of these events, and we try to, with our social media platforms, we try to give the fellow fan that may not have the opportunity, that kind of like the insight of the fan instead of the business inside of it. So we kind of, we don't sugarcoat it. We don't get paid by the Jets to give our opinions. We do it because we want you guys to know if something's worth doing, something's not worth doing. If we're doing it, it's because we believe in it. and that's what Gotham City is all about. So we're your typical white collared shirt guys and trying to sell product to Jets fans. We're just trying to build something that the fellow Jet fan can be proud of. So when they see us on TV or they see us do something like, oh, Gotham City Crew, those guys rock. It's not and that's why we don't. It's there's three of us, but it's Gotham City Crew as a whole, as one big team.
Yeah. So. That's cool, man. I like what you got going over there, man. That's why I reached out to get you on the show.
No, same here. What you guys are doing here, and it's a great way.
Guys, got some Jets fan. I do got my own network. It's BGN Sports Media. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. Every team. I'm working on getting some Jets people over there. So if you know any good Jets content creators, want to do about an hour show a week, let me know. But even if not, that's just a good NFL network over there. I cover the Eagles on my channel, but that is, on the network, the BGN Sports Media, that's a whole NFL. So you get a lot of good content over there. So make sure,
And that's what it's all about, and I appreciate being a part of this because, it's a great way of meeting new people and.
Oh yeah, I've met a lot of good people with that. A lot of my content creators I have on there is just from doing this. And I'm like, hey man, you do good work. If you're not already associated with any kind of networks, then hey, if you want to start out, join a growing team over here. You know what I'm saying? Like we definitely are growing pretty fast. We've been doing it for a couple of months now. We're up to like 160, 170 and subscribers. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good stuff, man. Keep it up. You got a fan out of me, and I appreciate this stuff. Claudio's been doing something a little similar, and he's building it, and it's a We the Fans kind of like podcast, and it's basically like what you just did with me. You sat down and we kind of give you the insight of how you became a fan and what do you like the most of being a Jets fan.
That's cool.
And
for us, we do a Sunday night show.
Recap the game.
It's called Birds. Well, we got an aftermath podcast. It's a post game show. We got Weedham Birds. That's your pregame show. But then every game night, we do a thing called Birds on the Line. So it's just a show for the fans. They come on there and give like 5 to 10 minutes and talk about how they felt about the game and whatnot like that. Things like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, anybody that obviously you sound passionate about it, and anybody that's doing it for those reasons, it's always fun to do, no matter how much work it is. How late you stay up. And I get it a lot. People, they come up to us and like, wow, I can't believe how much work goes into the tailgates because they see us while we're as it opens, we're setting it up. They're like, oh, I don't know how you can do it every game, and it's like, listen, when you're doing something that you love, it's really not work.
Not work. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is with this stuff. It's like, yes, it does take a lot of my time, but I love doing it. And I love interacting with the other fans. Like you said, you meet a lot of fans on here. You meet a lot of, different people and whatnot. I got to interview some players. I never thought I would talk to any NFL Eagle players before in my life, And I had like Bobby Taylor and Corey Simon on the show. Get to talk to Eagle beat writers. When you're growing up, you don't think about stuff like that. To me, I'm living a dream, my guy. I'm just gonna keep.
Listen, and you're doing a great job. And listen, 15 years ago, we weren't afforded this opportunity. Right. So let's take advantage of technology. Let's meet people that we normally wouldn't meet. Mm-hmm. And we're all in it for the right reasons. And we're all football fans, and we want to see our teams do well. And I'd love to hear stories like this. This is great stuff. And as always, we appreciate the support. Appreciate talking it up. I can't believe it's been this long already.
Right?
I felt like I just jumped on like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, man, it's good. That's what happens on the show. You kind of just get in your little groove, start talking to football. That's what I love about it. It's not like a basher show. Of course, I'm gonna say my team gonna win. Yeah. Of course, you're gonna say your team gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those type things. But other than that, man, it's just good football talk and all. Like, and it gives the people like this show's not only meant for Eagles fans. You know what I'm saying? It's meant for like your fans. It's meant for just you, your whole like network and your whole like system that you got. Let people get an inside track of you being a fan yourself and like what you like to do for your team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like kind of for the content creator and for the fan. at the same time, you kind of can mix them both together in one nice show. So thank you again for coming on, man.
No problem. I just looked down now. I have my
Got
Jets socks
Jets
on at work.
on too. He is
Yeah.
Jets out. Look at him.
I don't mess around. Like I always
We
have
got to
something
see you on
repping
Sunday,
the
man. We got to
Jets.
see you on Sunday. Are you gonna wear your custom jersey on Sunday?
I might wear the blacked out Zach Wilson jersey. Just
Okay.
show the kid some support, and hopefully he doesn't let me down.
I'm sorry on that one because he's gonna let you down. He gonna have a guy like Fletcher Cox
Yeah.
face all day, and Javon Hargrave. Those boys coming after him.
Hopefully McGovern and Vera Tucker could give
The
just
good thing for
Zach
you
Wilson
guys is Jalen Hurts' ankle's hurt, so he might not be doing as much running. You know what I'm saying? So that actually might be a plus for you guys.
I have him on one of my fantasy teams, so it's
I got him on
one of
like
those,
2-3 of my fantasy teams. Yeah.
it's like one of those things when you're forced to like bet against your own team. So if Hurts plays well and the Jets lose, there's that silver lining. At least that means he did well for my fantasy team.
At least you got the right quarterback in there. Yeah.
But I mentioned before, if it turns out to be a shootout and the Jets could sneak out a win, then it's a win-win. Helps my fantasy team, and it's great to see a win at home.
Well, you have a great rest of your night, my guy. Like I said, over the offseason or something, we can get together again, do some more shows. That'd be cool.
Definitely, we could talk about our team's draft. Don't the Eagles have 2 first-round picks too?
We got 3.
3 first-round picks. Look,
Carson played at 75%, so we get the Colts. We got Miami's first-round pick, and we got our first-round pick. So we got 3 this year. So
wow, you guys
it'll be
fun.
It'll be fun this year. We'll see how he does with them because he always seems to mess things up. So we'll see how that one works out, man. We'll see how that one. What up, Mike Flores? You guys won tonight. Good job, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping
this Cowboys fan everywhere
helped us out. You guys helped us out, because we needed a playoff spots and we needed the Saints to lose. So thank you guys for doing your piece. Much love to you, my guy.
No, you should be going for that division title.
Oh, I was going for the Saints to win.
No,
but
I know. Me too.
It's a double-sided thing. It was a double-sided thing. If the Saints won, it's like, yeah, division title, but we'll see what happens at the end. So we still got 5 games left. I think they're up 2 games or now 3 games now with that win. So, Cowboys can still lose. And plus we play them the last game of the season. So we'll see around that time where we're at in that standing. What up, Jadis? How you doing? You guys been late. We're about to get up out of here, though, my guys. Much love to you guys. Watch the replay. All you guys like and subscribe to both channels. Gotham City Crew and Bird Gang 31 if you haven't subscribed to me as well. And also to BGN Sports Media. What I'm saying? We're on our road to 200. Like I said, we're at like 170 or something like that. If you haven't subscribed to me, I'm on the road for 2K. So I am about a little bit over 200 away from 2K. So get Eagle fans, get your friends, sub up Bird Game 31. All right. Much love to you and have a great night. And like I always say, fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, Bird Game 31, and we are out. Peace.